Good morning, everybody. I'm Chantelle Rogers, and I am here with Alexandria. And I just think it's so fascinating how we ended up meeting. I just saw her videos on TikTok and loved them, like absolutely loved them. Not just like everything about your energy is just so perfect. Like I don't believe in perfection, but if I believed in perfection, you would be it. Just like they're just so cute. And then when you started saying fuckery, I'm like, oh yeah, that is my person. I need to reach out and be friends with this girl.
Mm.
But yeah, I love your energy because you're so I try really hard to be authentic when I'm on videos and doing things, but I still find that I have a hard time getting into my fun side.
Mm.
And so you are just so fun and so cute and just so real. And so I'm just like, oh my God, I would love to just sit and connect with her. And I just really want to do everything that I do now for me. Like, who do I want to sit and have conversations with? And this is so cool because you're in Scotland. Like, where else would we ever get to sit down and be able to connect like this? So
In
thank you for
Scotland,
taking
maybe
the
you'll come
time.
someday.
I know, like who knows, right?
I know. I saw one of your videos and you're like, I don't want to travel. I was like, okay, fair. But Scotland is a special place. Like, I'm
Oh,
real. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
actually, here's a question I have before you start. I saw a video that you were in Canada. Were you
Yeah,
in Canada?
I'm Canadian. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
I went back to Canada for the month of February. So the month of
Oh,
February is the month of my brother's passing and the month of
oh, I'm
his
sorry.
birthday. So I went home this February because it was like the 10-year anniversary and I spent time with my family and my nieces. But I've been in Scotland for almost 2 years.
Oh, wow. So where do you live in Canada?
My family lives, so I was in Ottawa for quite a long time. I went to Carleton. I also went to Dalhousie for my master's. But
Oh,
I was in Ottawa, but my family, they live like near London. So like near Grand Bend, if you know, like London or in Ontario. I'm
wow.
like, I
Okay.
realize that you're not from Ontario, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm from Saskatchewan. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes,
So,
yes.
like the snow capital of Canada. It's probably the
Yeah.
snow capital of the world right now.
We drove through Saskatchewan at like one point. I think we drove from like one end of Ontario all the way to BC. So we did drive through Saskatchewan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, it was quite a trip. It was everyone. We did it in such a small amount of time. Like I think it was like 3.5 days. So
Oh,
the people that
wow.
were driving got a little grumpy. But yeah, that's where I'm from, and like I was in Ottawa for quite a long time, and there's actually a story behind that. Like when you were saying that I'm so authentic online and I'm so myself. Thank you, by the way, for the introduction. I very much appreciate it. Um, I was just thinking to myself, like the reason for that, and like I always tried to be authentic growing up, but as most of us, especially if you're a manifesting generator, I don't know anyone here is into human design, but if you're a manifesting generator or manifester, you were told like you were too much, or you're um like too little, or you need to make space for other people and you need to calm down, and like that was what I was told like growing up. And so as an adult, I tried to really like release that. And that was a lot of my work, was coming back into my whole self. And I had done a lot of work, and you're going to resonate with this. Like I did so much work on myself, and then um this was like 2 years into my work on myself and healing, and uh I went through a smear campaign. So while I was in Ottawa, this is what sparked me moving to Scotland. I was like, I know I need to move to Scotland at some point, but I got fucking canceled. So I went through a smear campaign in Ottawa. I had so many people messaging me and threatening me, people I had never met in my life. And yeah, and it was from two people that I was like, I can't be friends with you anymore. Like the victim mentality was just so deep, and I was trying so hard to like better myself. And at that point I hadn't developed my self leadership enough to like have a very candid mature conversation about it, and instead I kind of just
Mm.
like drifted off a little bit, and they did not like that, and so they created this smear campaign, and they like weaponized their indigenous identities, which is not something I would typically say on a podcast, but that's what happened. Because I was a godmother to like one of their kids, and like I like set one of them up with their partner. Like it was crazy cuckoo bananas. Anyways, and I got canceled. And then I got home, and at this point, I had my own business. I was making like 2,000, maybe $3,000 a month. Like I don't even know if that was like cash. Like I don't remember. But what I do remember is I was struggling, and I got home. I like after um after being in Ottawa for like I want to say 3 days, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like I was like, I went with my friend. I got bear spray because I was like so afraid of people like coming up to me on the street. Like people were ready to beat me up. She told people where I lived, right?
What?
And they told people. It wasn't just she. There was two of them, right? And anyways, so I messaged my sister and I was like, I need to come home. Her husband drove 6 hours to come get me, 6 hours back to drive me home in one day. And I stayed with my parents for like a month. And I want to say the first like 2 weeks, I was having like panic attacks like 3 times a day. Let's go pick blueberries in July, panic attack. Like let's have a fire outside, panic attack. Like it was because I just kept receiving these messages and blocking people and then blocking people and then blocking people. And I continued to do my podcast, and um, one of the women on my podcast that came on, her name's Chris Ashley. And I will never forget what she told me because it just helped me so much. And it's so crazy how people come into your lives at like the exact time that you need them to. But she came in and she was like, she had also gone through a smear campaign. I didn't realize how many people got fucking canceled, to be honest. I was like, Jesus, like everyone's getting, as everyone's motherfucking woke now and we're all getting canceled. Um, but it was
Wow.
crazy, right? And so one of the things that she said was, or she offered to me, was this point of view that the the villains in our lives are the souls that love us the most because they were willing to give up our love that is so beautiful, so grand, so special in order for us to learn the lessons that we need to learn in this life. And that helped me shift from this space of hurt and pain to love. And it was like the day after that, I had this conversation with God. And I grew up in like I come from a line of pastors, and I as an adult really rejected religion, because I grew up from a line of pastors who were also narcissists. And I had a conversation with God, and I sat there just bawling my face off, crying, crying, crying. And he was just like, this isn't like real. Like the only true thing is love. Like that's the truth. Everything is rooted in love. Your anger, your hurt, your pain, your grief, all of it's rooted in love, and that is the truest energy, the truest form for us. You're here to experience it all, but the rest isn't, it's a mirage. I made you in love. And then from there, and I swear there's a point to this story, um, I I realized that I was just pussyfooting around because I didn't want to get canceled. I didn't want to upset people. I didn't want people to get angry with me. I didn't want to, I was
Oh,
around. And so I was like, I
right.
want to fully express myself in my business and who I am. And that is how I went from 2K months to 10K months to 20K months, all because I went through that smear campaign. So now I'm so freaking grateful because I show up on the internet, and it like you said, it's for me. It's in service of my heart, of my truth, of the love that I have, of my gifts, and in service of the people that I'm here that have been praying for me to show up, because I'm able to say the thing for them in that specific way that changes the trajectory of their life.
Fuck. You just said like 1,800 things there that are like just gold fucking nuggets. Oh my God. You know, it's interesting because um, I had that same experience when I was starting to process a lot of things that are going on in the world that are just so unfathomable.
Yeah.
And I had this really because I've spent at least an hour a day in really deep meditation since 2016. I've been on this healing journey since 2007. That's when I found the energy system and quit my job and just dove right into it. So it's
Mm.
19 years now. Um, but I've then okay, so started 2007. Then in 2018, I had kind of like this nervous breakdown and ended up going to church, learned a lot, healed a lot, and then started to learn things that I didn't like. So that's also the time that I got cancer, though, my
Mm.
first cancer. So it was just like it's everything is just
And
so divinely.
I have a lot of feelings when it comes to organized religion. Actually, not really. I don't have a lot of feelings. I'm just like, not for me. The end. That's the feeling.
Mhm.
But what I will say is people from like church, people like they show up for each other when shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So having
And
that kind of community is really important, you
yeah,
know.
and it's interesting because like when I was in the body talk system, the healing system, um, I just like I was a practitioner and I was an instructor, so I saw miracle after miracle after miracle.
Mm.
It was so incredible, like stage 4 cancer being healed, people that needed heart transplants no longer needing surgery, like huge stuff. And my own healing that happened, like I wasn't able to get pregnant. I had a session with the founder. I was able to get pregnant right away. Had two kids back to back. Like my kids are 16 months apart. And like herniated disc, my eyesight healed, like just like incredible things. So when I got cancer, I was like, oh, okay, so now I'm gonna heal from all of these amazing people that I know in the system. I knew the founder, he worked on me and nothing worked. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Because I thought that would be like a big book that I would write about how I healed myself naturally. And here I need chemo. Like, what? Chemo is like the epitome of evil in my mind, right? Or it was at the time.
Mhm.
So then it was interesting how I ended up at church. And, I got this phone call halfway through my chemo treatments that my liver enzymes were too high. So I couldn't get more chemo, which basically means you're going to die. Um, and so the parishioners and the pastors got together and prayed over me that night. And
Mm.
the next morning, I went for my blood test and my enzymes were back to normal.
Shut the front door. See, I fucking love this. I'm sorry, I'm totally interrupting you. But
No, go ahead.
this is like I have my own, like I said, feelings when it comes to organized religion, but like when you are working with God and
Mm,
playing with God, like it actually gets to be the most beautiful relationship and people don't realize that God is on your side. Like
mm.
I have my own relationship with God. I don't typically go and like practice it with other people. I share it sometimes, but like I think there's like these healing circles that you're talking about. I remember being on a plane to I think it was to Florida, and I met this woman named Deborah. She was a part of a healing circle, and she resonated as a witch, but she was also in this type of healing circle that was a part of unorganized religion. And there's more and more people that are living in both truths of I get to love God and have this beautiful relationship with God, and also I get to be in this more spiritual sense. Like both get to exist at once. What we were taught was fucking bullshit.
Well, and that's the interesting thing because I would say all of the books that I've written, that is basically the theme. Is
Yeah.
it's my me really asking questions of like, what is this? And well, like what are you? Like and how does this all work? Because well, when I okay, so then, then after I got the healing and everything was going through, I rang the bell at the cancer clinic. It was December 14th, and I had been hearing a lot of things from the people that like what got me through cancer is knowing I really truly believe as soon as I was diagnosed, I knew God was saying, I'm not fucking pissing around here anymore. Like it's time to change your life. Like I was living a very
Mm,
addictive life, you know, running from like leaving your marriage with two small kids is not an easy thing to do.
wow.
And I felt like my heart was fucking shattered. And I made poor decision after poor decision after poor decision. And I believe that's what God was saying is we're not pissing around here anymore. It's time to do your work. Um,
Mm,
so that's what I was sharing at this Bible study group is, I believe that God is doing this for me to help plant me and really form a relationship with God. And the one lady's like, God would never do that. It's demons. You have demons. Your body is full of demons. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't believe in demons, but she made it so believable that I started to get really afraid. And it was
mm,
just a really big thing. But here, this has always been my thing. If you're running to God to save you, you've missed the mark.
yes.
There's also the part of it where we're running from demons. Well, so the first book that I wrote, there's a chapter called The Devil is a scared little boy.
Mm,
Because what I actually believe is if you feel like you have demons or a devil inside of you, where the fuck do you go to heal that shit? Like, right? You're pretty much a lost cause at that point when there's demons
mm,
inside of you. But what I really sat with is it's our thoughts. Like
mm,
these are our thoughts that have been programmed from our childhood. This is the inner child. There's a small child in there that needs to be loved. It's not a demon that needs to be scared or run from or fought. And
mm,
and so that was like probably the hugest part of my healing journey is when I realized that, I was always running to something to save me. Like I was running to the system to save me. I was running to God to save me. And it was like, oh fuck. This is what my work is to
mm,
really like find those parts of me that are so scared and lonely and sad and hurt and love them.
yeah.
And when I started to do that, it was like fucking pain. Like, oh my God, there's so much pain when you get into the moment and you start to face your past. And I actually ended up moving to a tiny little cabin in the bush. And I spent time every day outside, just
Mm,
in nature, listening, feeling, screaming, fucking banging sticks on trees. And then that's where my first book came from. It's like, holy shit, like, there's nothing to fight, there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to fix. It's all stuff that we need to learn how to love.
mm,
So that's changed my life, and that's where I've been on this fucking roller coaster right now because anybody that dives into this healing, which obviously you are, knows that it's a dance, but it feels like a violent roller coaster ride sometimes because
oh my God. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, like, I'm just
like
like,
we're
what?
being called
Why did
to,
I choose this? Sometimes I'm like, why did I choose this? I just would rather
well,
be unaware. But then other
yeah.
times I'm like, this is living. I am alive. And I am living even in the moments where I feel poor, where I feel sick, where I feel these shitty moments. Like, it's like I'm truly living. And
Mm.
that's why my life feels extraordinary because I'm truly living. And on that note, with God, it's like you're co-creating with God. We've been told that, God is your savior, God is the controller, God is the one that forgives you, God is the, like, all of these things, and the one that brings justice. And it's like, no, like, God is your co-creator. And you and I talked about this. God and you are like the ultimate artists together,
Mhm.
painting this beautiful life together. Like, I remember, and you know I don't even know why this is coming up now, but one of the most impactful things that my mom will always say, she's like, I don't have anything inspiring to say. She's like, I'm not that fucking insightful. I'm like, yeah, you are. Because
Oh,
something she said to me, I think I was like, I don't even know, 18 maybe 19. And she said one of the things, she was really struggling. Actually, no, it was past 20, because this is after my brother died. And she
oh,
was really struggling with her relationship with God. And um, she was like, one of the things that we get in this life is choice. We have the power of choice. And that is like, that has stayed with me for since then. And she's always like, it wasn't that profound. And I was like, yes, it was, because you have shown me that no matter what situation I'm in, I get to choose how I see it. No matter, like, where I am, I get to choose how I act. I get to choose the next move. That's a lot of fucking power when you think about it,
oh gosh, yeah.
And it's like you chose how to see this situation that was happening for you when it came to moving through cancer. Like, you chose how to see that. There's so much power that we have that we don't recognize, because we allow the things in our life to kind of like take hold. And like you said, with the demons, you're choosing not to believe in demons. Do I think that demons are real? Fuck yeah, because I've seen them. I have seen demons and I have seen aliens. Like, I see shit, but I don't choose to give power to them, you know? And
Right,
that's probably where this other woman was like, oh, that's demons. Demons have power over you. No, nothing fucking has power over you. Not
right.
even God. And you're not sitting here, like you said, with like being like, you need to be my savior. Like, I know people that are like, just pray, just pray, just pray, and just wait. No, move, pray, converse, move. Like,
That is a beautiful point, because what I'm also finding on my journey is that there are just as many people that are putting all their power in God's hands, but there's also now the spiritual
oh,
community that is like, you know,
yeah,
they would never pray if their fucking life depended on it. Well, you know what? Wait until you get a terminal illness. Wait until somebody in your life dies. You'll be on your fucking knees praying.
yeah,
But like, do you know what I mean? So there's the two
so true.
polar, and it's like when we come into the middle and we just really let our egos drop and just really start to ask, like, what is this? What is this out here that's helping me and guiding me and leading me? Because there's something.
Mm,
And what I really actually got a lot of comfort in is I actually now see it as a divine mother and a divine father.
yes, absolutely. God is
So,
not a man.
well, and it would be weird if it were just a man. Like, where's the and not to diss the Bible, because I love a lot of the stories in the Bible. I think there's so much power, but I also do believe that the whole feminine existence in the Bible is missing. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's actually what this new world is that we're talking about. It's the
Yes.
rise of the feminine.
You read my mind. I was
I
gonna bring
love
that
it.
up. I was like, God is bringing the feminine back.
Oh, and I am, oh, I feel like I am like really stepping into that.
Mm.
And it's I don't know, it's really, I guess it's overpowering to feel this value that we have. And, like I was telling you before we started, I had just, spent 9.5 months with somebody that I really, my hair's all weird. I'm trying to and everything's backwards. I'm trying to fluff my hair, but I'm doing the wrong side. um, yeah, and it's like there were so many wounded parts of me that were programmed to accept abuse in different forms.
Yeah.
And here's this wonderful, wonderful man. He would never hurt me, never harm me, never speak meanly to me or about me. He's never, even though I was, I did a couple things that were not super nice to him, he's never been mean or angry. And to me, it was like he rose up as this god in my mind because
Mhm.
he's not abusive, you know? And
Yeah,
I
I do.
felt like it was just like the most powerful thing. Every time I talked to him, every time I spent time with him, it was just so healing for me to not be shamed or blamed or abused in any way.
Yeah.
But what I recently started to recognize is there's there he doesn't care about me. Like he doesn't care about me. He doesn't want to build a relationship. He's not wanting to reciprocate that. And that was really huge for me to feel that.
Like this isn't going somewhere. Like he
Yes.
doesn't want to build something with you. It's like I
Yeah.
want to be here with you now, and that's it. Like
Yes. And it doesn't mean that he's an asshole. I don't have to we can be friends because we love hockey, we love baseball, we love all those things. But I just felt it in my body for the first time. I feel like I'm really, really in my body, where spending time with him was like, hmm, this this is
isn't
not,
it?
no, this isn't what I want. But when I really sat with it today, I looked back and I saw the generations before me who
Mm,
were abused and who were servants to the man. And I'm thinking, isn't this an interesting time where we not only stop serving, but now we realize that we get to dance with the masculine now and
mhm.
have relationships and have, them pour into us as much as we pour into them. That's fucking foreign to me and my whole lineage. Like I'm telling you, that's foreign, foreign.
I feel like what people just don't understand, and there's like this, um, uh, like, what is the word? Not paradigm. Um,
Oh, I know what you're saying.
yeah, there's, I don't know, dominant something discussion in the spiritual community, and like I really want to fucking shut it down because a lot of people are talking about how the masculine leads, the masculine leads, the masculine leads, the masculine leads, and the
Mm,
like how you need to submit to the masculine still, and how like masculine is dominant. Here's the real fucking truth. First of all, masculine is kind of submissive, okay? Just putting that out there. The masculine wants you to say, hey, you're a good boy. Okay. The masculine wants to serve you. It's the other way around. The masculine wants to give, the masculine wants to serve you. But the other thing is, what people don't, people just like so many people that are putting this rhetoric out do not understand energetics. And I don't want to put people down. But
no,
what I do want to do is bring awareness to this because I think a lot of people are moving into this space where they're not realizing that like this is actually like it's almost discrediting the feminine. The masculine is the physical and the mental. So anyone that's watching this, the masculine is the physical and the mental, and that is where the masculine leads. The masculine is the 3D world, right? So the masculine's the doing, the thinking, the moving, the action, the boundary setting. The feminine is the energetic and the emotional. The feminine is creates an energetic landscape. The feminine is the one that creates the vision for the masculine to work towards. The feminine is the calmness. The feminine is the storm. The feminine creates the energetic landscape and the standards for the masculine to rise to. So, yes, the masculine leads in the physical and in the mental, but the feminine leads in the emotional and the energetic. So, when you are in a relationship with someone, if you are heterosexual in this instance, but you can also be somebody that is not heterosexual and you lean more towards masculine or lean more towards feminine, whatever works for you. I don't really care. A body's a body. But all of us have an inner masculine and an inner feminine. And when you are in a relationship with someone, you lean more towards one of the two. So if I'm with my partner, I lean more towards the feminine and he leans more towards the masculine. I lead the energetic and the emotional. The amount of times that he comes to me and says, "You bring me so much peace. You make me feel calm." Sometimes he goes like, "I just feel sleepy. I don't want to feel sleepy when I'm around you, but you make me feel so calm." Right? And that's because of the energy, the energetic landscape that I create for him to come into. But physically, he's doing all of these things for me all of the time, right? Mentally, like when I'm with him, he's always making fun of me because he's like, "Baby, it's this way. Honey, it's this way." And he's like, "We've already done this before." I'm like I'm paying fucking attention. I'm not paying attention. I'm with you. I'm with you. You think I'm thinking about what direction I'm going? I'm just holding your hand and following, right? So
Oh,
he's leading in that way. I'm leading in this emotional way where I'm having these conversations around emotions, around where we're going, around the vision and the legacy that I want to create with him. And he's working towards that, right? We're leading in different ways. And I just want to squash that because I feel like so many people have been told a different uh, rhetoric or story around the masculine and feminine. And it's like, no, we lead together, side by side. There's no fucking hierarchy.
oh, I don't know. Do you like Bruce Lipton? Do you ever watch Bruce Lipton's work?
I don't know who that is. No.
Oh my God. His work. I would say if you're in the energetic world and there's somebody that you want to learn from, he's to me the king.
Mm,
Just, but what he has been saying is exactly what you're saying. He says that in the beginning times, the exactly what you're saying. The men listened to the women because the women have intuition and they have that softness. So they would provide for this woman because they bring peace, and that if there were a really strong leadership team of a feminine and a masculine, we wouldn't have wars.
mm,
Women would not say, "Yeah, go and kill people." They
yeah.
they would never say that that's okay. So, and I'm not judging anything because, whatever, I'm not even thinking about the world right now, but I'm just thinking about that is a beautiful, beautiful way of describing what we really, really need to be stepping into here.
And that's the thing, I think, like, and that's a huge part of my work is helping women develop their feminine leadership because we've been so focused on the mental and the physical. That's what we've been taught. And not even in like a great way. Like we haven't even mastered that, right? There's been this like underdeveloped masculine, even when it comes to the energy of money, right? A lot of people have seen or been taught when it comes to money that money is bad, money is evil, money is used to divide, money is used for abuse, money is used to cut people out, to manipulate. But it's moving into the feminine right now. And
Right.
that is so exciting because more and more people, particularly women, because more women are having more money in their hands, are using it to create and build community, are using it for pleasure, are using it for expression, right? And we're changing this dialogue around money as well, which just like makes me so happy. But at least in this healing space as well, like, and in the coaching space, in this whole kind of industry, we really I mean, it was a lot of the masculine in the beginning, right? Like even when
Mhm.
it comes to yoga, yoga was created by a man. Like, you know, a lot of the leaders have been men, and they still have a lot, and they've done incredible things. And also, there is some underdeveloped masculine and hugely underdeveloped feminine. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm helping so many women bring this feminine leader forward, because we are leaders. We are leaders in our homes. We are leaders in our partnerships. We are leaders and CEOs. Like, we are leaders. We lead in this different way, and not in a hierarchical way, in a way where I am standing beside you and I meet your power with my power. It's never hierarchical. And that's what I want to see more of.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Um, oh, I just kind of want to breathe that in.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
masculine system was hierarchical. That was the leadership system.
yeah,
That's where the micromanagement comes from. That's where, like, all of this, like, I'm your manager, I'm your boss, I'm your this. And it's like, the feminine way of leading is like, I see you, I see your power, I have power. I'm going to meet your power with my power. We have different gifts, but I'm walking alongside you, not in front of you and not behind you.
yes. And you know, this is interesting because one of the big things that's helped me heal so much in the last few months is and you know, it's interesting because I've been told for many years that I was going to move on and develop a healing system. And you know, the founder of Body
Oh,
Talk,
I got shivers, you are.
um, the founder of Body Talk was a really, really amazing man, and I got to be friends with him, like friends, like you know, like he's an old man. So when I saw him, but every time we spent time together, he always said, like, just do something every day, just keep moving forward. I had no idea it would take this fucking long, you know, like because I just kept thinking, oh, okay, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. But life just keeps putting you through what you need to go through. And yesterday, or a couple days ago, I was laying down to go for a nap, which is a feminine thing to do, is right. I'm just really
Rest.
taking care of myself. And
Mm.
I just laid in bed, and all of a sudden, all of the pieces clicked. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm ready. Like, this is so like and it's funny because I've been doing so many different things. You know, I've written like 12 books. I,
Mm.
you know, now I created these decks. I've got these cool decks. This is
Cool.
yeah, I love this one. There's actually like 5 decks in one deck. And so when you pick one card from each deck, it actually creates a full message from spirit.
I
And
love
what
that.
like it actually highlights your patterns.
Mm.
So the second one says, you know, like the one that I picked here says you've been stuck in fear. This is preventing you from expanding. You're locking out your
Mm.
and then the next card has like a practical action. So what does this one say? It's time to listen, trust
Trust
us.
us. Mm. That's so
And then
cool.
the last card has like a full message from spirit. So what does this one say?
Dear child, stay open and receive. It is our greatest pleasure to see your excitement. Be enthusiastic about what you're about to receive.
So these are cool. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to do these online workshops. I'm going to pull these cards. I'm going to do these 12-part series. And I did 2 of them, and they were really like, my life just healed so much through it. And then now I'm like, oh, fuck, but that's just a part of it. Like, now I actually saw that what I created through this is part of the system.
Mm.
So I actually saw the protocol chart that I'm creating. And because people have intuition, but like the hardest part when I started being an intuitive healer is trusting my intuition.
Mm.
And so I love the idea of having these decks where people can pull the cards. Like for me, I'm very intuitive, so I can put my hand on you and I can see everything, and I love that. but that took a long time to develop that, and I
Mm.
feel like I wanna make something that is so easy that people could literally come and take a workshop for 2 days with me and leave and make money, not, and it's not about the money, but it
But
is.
like you get to make money. I
Like,
think
right?
like in the spiritual world, like everybody's like, it's not about the money. No, it isn't. And also you get to want money. You get to want it. You get to have it. You get to live an abundant life. That's the whole fucking point.
Well, and that
You
is the
know?
point, because if you're making enough money, you can live that life where you do take care of yourself and you can have the freedom to be in the feminine. And
Mm,
that's the biggest part of my dream is to have women really stepping in and making money so that they can be home with their kids and they can go for walks and they can take baths during the day. Like, that is the biggest part of my dream. But what I'm really good at is helping people heal. So I want to have a system that's really, really easy where people don't have to mind fuck themselves out of doing
yeah.
it. Because that was always the thing. It's like, I don't think I can do it. Yes, you can. Like, I used to teach remote viewing and remote healing in these
Mm,
workshops, and people would just like mind fuck themselves out of it. And I never ever saw one person that couldn't do it, but they would leave the workshop and never do anything with it because they just didn't believe. But if you have a system that has cards and you pull a card and you're like, okay, well, you're worrying too much and this is stuck in your knee and we're going to use this tool over here, you know,
mm,
really sit with your fear because the fear is what's causing your knee pain, and you're pulling a bunch of cards. Well, suddenly that just makes it pretty easy, and you don't even have to be intuitive. But as you keep doing it, your intuition is going to build because your brain is going to see that you already knew it was the knee that was going to show up. And when you pull the card, you're like, holy shit, like, right?
yeah. Like
So,
it's creating the evidence.
yeah. And so, what I noticed is when I created this deck, so this is the first part. So every card that we pull, like, this one says, let's create a more loving relationship with your divine purpose. There's also the divine mother, the divine father, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. So when we pull these cards, what I've been noticing in the sessions that I was doing is that's actually the highest version of ourselves that we can see right now. So I've been aligning with the divine masculine and
Mm,
feeling how it feels to be held in his arms. And that's actually what's been reprogramming my beliefs of what a man is.
yeah.
Because when you align with the divine, you become the light and the love. And it's like now your belief systems start to fade and dissolve because it's like, well, she's not listening to us anymore because she knows that that's not true.
Mm,
And so then when I spent time with this man who I literally thought was like the king of everything. I don't know if you're still here or not. Okay, so I'm just texting to see if Alexandria is coming back. Okay, oh, here we go. Oh, there you are. Okay, I don't know what happened. That seems to happen with everybody actually. Okay, there you go. Okay.
okay, I'm back. Right before it happened, it said that like the host went in and then back out.
Oh,
Or
that's
went
weird.
out and then back in.
Oh, okay. Oh
So
well.
I don't know if that's helpful.
Okay.
Um,
That's
but
why I love not caring about who sees it.
I mean, also it's just like this is live. Like this is what happens live.
Oh shit, there we go again. He's ready to join. I don't know, that's weird, eh? Okay, well, whatever, like we said. Doesn't really matter. Okay, there we are.
I'm here. So yeah,
Okay.
this is what happens live. Like even if you're like a freaking $1 million business owner, like I have seen multimillionaires where this shit has happened.
Really? Okay, I don't feel.
It doesn't like it that's the thing. Like it's releasing the perfectionism, you know? And like showing up and be like letting it be messy sometimes just because like, you know, this happens doesn't mean that like you're not an incredible intuitive or an incredible coach or an incredible like, you know? Um
That's so funny. I'm trying to fix my hair again.
But
Um,
I totally, oh, it said host left the broadcast, host joined the broadcast, just by the way.
well, that's
I totally know what you mean when like, I think this is the other thing that happens, like, in kind of the energetics world is people are told that, like, right away, like move into your feminine, but it's really difficult to move into your feminine if your masculine is so underdeveloped. So, because it doesn't feel safe. So the first thing for me when I started doing this work is I worked on my masculine very like a lot. Like, oh, you're doing your hair, figuring it out. I like it.
oh
Um,
god, it's so funny. Okay, sorry.
there you go.
I
Um,
I hate the backwards thing. It's driving me crazy. Okay,
you good?
okay, go ahead. I'm
Put it
just-
in a bucket. Just bucket. Yeah, like I really had to face, you know, the masculine is the integrity. The masculine is the doing. And I was like, okay, where am I showing up with integrity and where am I not? And what I had realized is I was showing up for everyone else, but I wasn't showing up for myself.
Oh,
I wasn't keeping boundaries for myself. I said I would do this for myself and I didn't. And it was like really eye opening, realizing where my own masculine was not aligned, where I was not living with my divine masculine internally. And that was what allowed me to move into my feminine, because my masculine was never safe. My masculine was never consistent. My masculine was never protective. And that was externally too, you know, like growing up with a dad that wasn't protective, growing up with a dad that didn't feel safe, like where my emotions weren't safe, nothing was safe, like, you know, and where a dad that wasn't consistent. And that impacts your masculine, you know, and your feminine, of course. But that was really where I had to like do the work. And when I did, it's like you said, I realized, oh my goodness, this is where um that I moved into my feminine. And then I realized like this is what's happening outside of me. I keep attracting masculines that are inconsistent, masculines that don't show up for me, masculines that doubt me or make me question myself because I'm questioning myself, masculines that expect me to prove my worth. And it was like, I'm attracting that because that's what my masculine is. I really do believe that mirroring is a fucking thing. um,
oh.
big time.
You know, it's interesting because when I was sitting down and doing these workshops, I would do a 1 hour video and do these 12-part series. And as I was doing these videos, I would see visions each time and I would describe the visions that I was having. But one of the biggest ones that I saw, and I don't know if I'm right, and it really doesn't fucking matter if I'm right or not scientifically, but how I see it is actually the receptors on our cells hold a page of our story. And
Mm,
so when we have the light of consciousness, like they've actually proven that there's a light inside every single cell, and that's the light of consciousness. So when that light is shining out through these receptors, it's shining through a page of our story. So we see what we believe we deserve. And it
absolutely.
shows up in our life, and it doesn't show up in a way of, like we get entangled in it and we're like, okay, well, why is this here? And like we believe,
We get
what am I trying
attached
to
to
say?
it.
What?
I feel like we get like attached to it, where it's like
Yeah,
we make it this big thing when it's like it can be so neutral, where it's like, okay, great, this is something I want to work on because I
it's
don't want to go through this
yeah.
again. Like it doesn't have to be like this big dramatic thing, you know?
It's so true. And yet, like, it shows up to show us the wounds that we're still holding. Like, if we didn't believe that story, it wouldn't be projecting out and we wouldn't be seeing
Mm,
it. But it's interesting because, like, the reason I call what I do the struggle is real, because I really want to start to talk to people about how it feels to be on this journey. Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, you have an enlightened experience and then everything's good. Oh my fucking god, that's so not true. But what I feel is when you start to engage with what's outside of you,
mm,
it's like it feels like you like when you're ready to face it, right? When you're ready to face it and really be like, what is going on here? And you engage with it, it feels like you're thrown into a big fucking washing machine. Because we can be so smart and we can be so conscious and we can be so self-aware, but when we start to get triggered, when those belief systems start to get kicked up, it's like, oh my god, like, I think I'm in love with this guy and holy shit, he's just the fucking best, and I'm waiting for him to call, and I'm doing all these fucking things that I said I would never do. But it's because we're so in this washing machine. And when we
mm,
keep doing our work and we keep showing up, like you said, for ourselves and being consistent and merging with the divine and being in that alignment, eventually it's like it all kind of starts to settle. And then we start to see the truth. And it's like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. But I was in the washing machine. So I wasn't seeing clearly. And
yeah.
I feel like every different area of our life is a different washing machine. So we can, real like I feel like I'm really killing it at parenting right now, where that was a big problem for me for years.
Mm,
But yet in relationships, I was still in that washing machine, starting this new business with like, the healing, like now I'm starting like something that I've never done before, so I'm in a bit of a washing machine. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's never not good. It's never not growth. It's never not divine. It's what we're here to experience.
mm.
But it's royal fuckery because sometimes it's like, get me the fuck out of here already. Like, can't something just be easy for once? But
But I think that's like, when you were saying all of that, I was thinking of why we have our tools, you
mhm.
know? Like I have my identity breath work, which is my own modality that I do almost every day. And it regulates my nervous system like crazy. And it also shows me, okay, what beliefs do I want to shift? What identities am I ready to move into? What identities am I ready to let go of? And
You
that
know,
helps me so much.
I'm just going to stop you for 1 second because what you said was so powerful. Because I really feel like what you just said was so gold, because what identities do I want to move into? I feel like if we're trying to rewrite the story, if we're trying to fight it, if we're trying to fix it, we're not in the right level of consciousness,
Mm,
right? Because we're now looking at a thought from a need. But what you're saying is so powerful because that's what I've been doing also in a different way than you are. But it's like, I'm just aligning with how I want to feel. And then everything else is starting to shift because I don't want to think those thoughts anymore because it doesn't feel good to me. I don't want to, I've always been a really big worrier, especially about my kids. And one day I was doing dishes and I was like, why the fuck am I thinking about this? Like, it's hurting I'm thinking about my kids going out and dying or becoming crack addicts or like, the crazy worries. And so now I stop myself as soon as I possibly can and I move into the best case scenario. And that's shifted so much in my life because why would I? Because if our thoughts are prayers, why would I be praying for my kids to die or become crack addicts? Like, You know what I
Say
mean?
that to people all the time. I'm like, we're always thinking like the worst. Like you can lose someone in an instant. This can, like you can lose all your money in an instant. You can like your life can change for the worse in an instant. But I'm like, your life can also change for the best in an instant. Like I
Mm.
was saying to you before I came on here, I met the most incredible human being I've ever met in an instant,
Tell
walking
the
along the
story.
river.
I want to hear the story again.
The story? I don't know. I don't know if he's in. He's gonna be like, "Are you telling people our story?" Yes. Um, I was walking down this river. My name's Alexandria. I was walking in Alexandria, Scotland.
Come
There's
on, seriously?
yeah, and there's this river that I would walk along all of the time, all the way to Balloch Loch Lomond, and it's just like this beautiful, beautiful park, like Balloch Park. And I would walk like an hour, and I would do that like every other day as much as I could. And I probably like him and I have talked about it. We've definitely passed by each other in the past before we started talking. But that day I had been walking down, and he's a stonemason, and he was working on the wall at the brewery along the river, and he had these most beautiful blue eyes, and he looked up at me, and my body was just like, you need to talk to him. And like I didn't have anything cool to say, so I like walked over. There was bricks everywhere, and I was like, that fucking sucks. Like I was like, this is shit. And he was like, yeah, this is shit, but like someone's got to do it. And then we just ended up talking for like an hour, and then he didn't ask me out but asked me out. Like he like was like, oh, he was wearing his gloves, and he was like, oh, my gloves are like really smelly, and I smelled them. I was like, I don't know, it got turned me on. He was like, oh, can I get your number? And then like we laughed, and I was walking away, and then I was like, wait, do you actually want my number? And he was like, yeah. But at this point he had already said like, I'm not dating people. I'm just not in a dating place or space. Um and then gets my number, and it was just like from then on we couldn't stop talking. And he is like the epitome of a divine masculine for me. He is like, when you meet someone and you're like, we are made for each other. The things that he's gone through, like the things that I've gone through, there it's just we get each other. And I've never been with someone that I felt so safe with and doesn't ask me or expect me to be someone that I'm not. And even the other day, like I have celiac disease, I got glutened, and I was vomiting in the equivalent of a Walmart parking lot here. I was vomiting my guts out, and he like came over and was just like rubbing my back as I was like puking my guts out. And like we met like a month ago, and I moved in. But like just rubbing my back, I'm vomiting, and I come home and gets me hot water bottle, like just zero, just all love, and like so much discussion around emotions, around how we desire to each other to experience this relationship. Like we had that conversation the other day. Like I was like, I really care about your experience of being in a relationship with me. And he was like, I really care about your experience of being in a relationship with me. And you can really tell. You can tell. Um, and I said to him, I was like, I feel like I'm, the woman that was just never treated the way that I deserve to be treated. And you were the man that was never appreciated the way that you should have been appreciated. And both of us fill that for each other.
Wow.
And yeah, it's so special. But like, like I told you, I think it was like 2 weeks before, someone that I had spent so much time like on and crying, and like it was just such an emotional roller coaster with that person, popped back in, and I was like, go away. Like I'm actually just like, fuck off. I don't. And I didn't say that. Like I literally was just like, look, and my words were quite funny. Like I was like, I'm looking for my future husband, and this behavior is not it. I'm sure there's
Oh,
lots of other women that you can message. Go message them. That was the end of the conversation. And then this man just waltzed into my life, and like this is the love of my life. Like I there's nothing, I can't say anything negative about him. And I know lots of people are like honeymoon phase, da da da, but like I'm fucking 30. You know, I'm 30. Like I'm not out here honeymoon phasing, you know? Like I've done a lot of work on myself, and I'm very aware of what I want, what I need. And um he wasn't in a relationship for like over a year and a half, which, and I think that like I've met so many people that are just like jump, like, you know, that are like
Mhm.
next relationship, you know, and just don't spend that time being alone.
Yeah.
And he was like, normally I would take more time to be alone. And like, anyways, he's just a blessing.
Uh,
I've never met such a beautiful human that loves so freely.
and here's the beautiful part of this. Whoops. Um, you attracted it because you became it.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
That's so.
And it's like like this is, and I mean, guys, like I have my TikTok, you know that my TikTok's like tarot reading, that kind of stuff. But I am like a coach, you know, and I like this is stuff that I talk about. I oh my god, what was I gonna say? Sorry, my gluten brain is still a little foggy. Um
Hey.
I was having like a rough day. I don't remember when it was, but it was like a couple weeks ago. And he was like, "Do you want me to run you a bath?" And I go in, he ran me a bath, put bubbles, put Epsom salts, put candles all around. And it was like he didn't know to do that because he does it for himself. He knew to do that because he saw me do it for myself, you
Mm.
know? And it was like, I think this is kind of where we miss the mark a lot. We expect other people to treat us a certain way or to do certain things for us, but we don't do it for ourselves. Be a demonstration of the romance that you desire.
Oh boy. That is so big. That is so big and beautiful. I love that. I love this for so many reasons. Hmm. I'm just like feeling this all because I just love every word that you're saying. Okay, so I'm gonna speak about something because I'm literally asking for your help right now.
Okay.
I I feel like I said, well, do you have time? Are you
I have to go in like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I wonder, should we stop this recording?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that and then we can just chat.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you everyone for
Thank
joining us.
you. Mwah.
We'll be back again because this was so incredible. We're going to keep talking with Alexandria whenever she can show up again. So, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm